there and dropped off his 57 Chevy. It is, man. It's a perfect car for a frame swap.
Looks good.
Paint's in really decent shape. Did I mention that we're not painting this car?
Yeah, you did.
By the way, we're not painting this car, brother. Here we go. You do not want to scratch it. We are not painting this car.
Whoa.
Hold on. Are we hitting something? Okay. So we got this 41 International truck in. So it's been 9 years.
9 years. 5 shops.
It needs a lot of attention.
It's gonna wake up the neighbors.
It's always a trip when you see the car coming together, especially with the graphics and everything.
Get out of here!
I'm Joe Martin. I've been building cars and bikes since I was just a little kid. My team cuts down rusted wrecks.
Are we gonna work today, Joe?
Knock out the ugly and put in the cool. And turn these buckets of rust into street art. This is Iron Resurrection. Okay, look at this, man. 57 Chevy. So we got a new customer, Rob there, came by today, dropped off his 57 Chevy.
Rob's quite a car guy. He's got several in his collection, but this 57 is one of his favorites.
I love the way it looks. It's this beautiful red with those silver, kind of chromy accents, but it was almost undrivable because the frame was almost like that of a go-kart. The front end will literally bounce from left to right like a typewriter. So I would like the car to be as good underneath as it looks on its exterior.
All right, K-Dub, let's take a ride, man. All right. K-Dub and I are going to take a ride and see how this thing handles. Hopefully we make it back, K-Dub. Damn.
A little wobbly.
It is, man. Yeah, Rob had a list of things he wanted to do with the car. Mainly, he just wanted to get it running, driving really well. The big block seems solid.
Yes, it sounds pretty good.
He wants to keep the same motor. Motor seems to run good, and the transmission works good. But we ain't got no brakes. Look,
Yeah.
brake form.
Yeah, don't go too fast.
The car doesn't brake very well. And the car doesn't steer very good. There's a lot of weird things going on there.
Yeah.
Wants to get all these things addressed. The alignment's bad. You feel it swimming around, More likely, it's probably going to be a deal where we can just do a package frame deal. It'll be more than kind of an update, The interior's got some funky stuff going on.
Are we changing any of this?
We're going to get rid of that, Yeah. We'll get Justin to do some interior work. And since the 57 is so iconic, so popular, there's a lot of frame companies that make something to accommodate this car. It's going to get the K-Dub throwdown. Man, it's a nice ride, though.
What's the verdict, man?
We got good bones here, boys.
Well, this Bel Air, it's a 57 Chevy, so you gotta love that.
Look at all the chrome.
That's kind of badass, actually.
502.
502.
Nice.
Is that chrome too?
Yep, it's chrome too.
You got a mirror on this. One of my favorite things about this car is it's got that big block Chevrolet in it. Oh, this moment, it's got hooker headers on it. That's back in the day.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice looking car, man. I mean, the paint's nice.
From the outside, man, I dig this car, actually.
It looks like you got plenty of seat, though. That's what keeps catching my eye.
We need some help here, Justin.
It was supposed to come in and eat a few little things here and there, but...
Who reads this game's passenger?
Yeah. And look at the boost. This is like, the list is like gotten this big now.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but does that say what I think it says?
Gas hole.
Gas hole?
5.7. So we got us a red 57.
Yeah, hard top.
That needs a frame and some little bit of interior.
But I think with the right stance, the right wheels updated, get the interior kind of dolled up, and even leave the big block in it, kind of go old school. I think it's going to be really cool just to, hopefully make it stand out a little more. It's a very popular car, and it's just an iconic piece of Americana. So we got this 41 International truck in from some great customers of ours, Cameron and Casey. Damn, dude. What an entrance, bro.
It's been a long road. It was in a lot of shops before it was in ours.
So it's been 9 years.
9 years. 9 years.
Almost as long as we've been married.
5 shops. A lot of headaches.
Yeah.
A lot of throwing away money. And almost 1 relationship. So.
This is definitely a diamond in the rough. Sounds like a challenge. And I know you're a guy that appreciates a challenge.
I do.
When Cameron showed up with this thing, we got to look at it and we thought, man, it needs a lot of attention.
You can have creative freedom. I won't even bother you. You pick the wheels, the motor. You paint what you want on the, on the car,
Man,
and we did make it two-door for a reason because it's our little honeymoon vehicle. No
Yeah,
kid will
yeah,
be
yeah.
riding in this unless we're going to practice with me or something like that. I basically dropped it off and said, "Work your magic." So I'm saying,
All
well, let's go.
I like the way that thing sounds.
so we took a ride in our 57 Chevy Bel Air and determined that it's total crap.
All right, Blue. Come on, Blue.
Yeah, you got 4 miles, dog.
Suspension's bad and it's just outdated.
Come on up.
That's probably good. I feel first thing we need to do is tear it down, get everything out of this thing, then we can roll our new frame underneath it.
Am I going to clear the rockers?
Yeah. We'll know here in about 2 minutes how nice of a car it is. Like a bunch of kids. Right?
Wait.
I think he got his money's worth out of those
Man,
tires.
I think so. Hold on, boys. Damn, man. Look at this. This is what we're dealing with here. Look at this here. Look at this, man. You got a couple more miles?
I could have got a few more out of
You
there.
rolling another 50 miles on that, Mike?
We can just rotate it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we rotated, okay, now.
Y'all panicking for nothing.
The tires on this 57 Bel Air were worn out. That's abnormal wear and
No,
tear.
that's abnormal, yeah.
Apparently in the front it had air ride system. That's an adjustable suspension. Damn. Man, look at the body.
Yeah.
This ain't no Chad exhaust right here, man.
I'm surprised Chad can even look at it.
Do you think any part of that well penetrated, or is just
No,
not
it's
on
stacked
top?
on top.
You know, a lot of people did these modifications in their backyard. So you can see what they did. They just took the frame rails, cut it, actually just rolled it in, and then gusseted everything up. Sometimes you see this, you feel a little bit better about yourself.
There you go.
So what they did is they took the back half of the car and put the giant wheels in there. So it's a drag racing thing.
Hey, we just have to be grateful that somebody did this to it, because we get to fix it.
fix it.
Yeah, and we got a deal for you.
What's our first move? Bumpers?
Take the bumpers off, get it back down, get all the cables loose,
Get all the
get all the radiator,
seats and carpet out of it.
everything's in really good shape. Car's good shape underneath. I'm just going to get rid of this old antiquated frame technology. Literally just unbolt it, raise the body up off of it, and roll the new one underneath. But we've got to be careful not to scratch this body. We're going to preserve the paint job. This car's got a really decent paint job on it. We do not want to scratch it. We are not painting this car. Let's tear it down.
Yeah.
We better go to work.
Well, you know, 57 Bel Air is a, it's like a piece of automotive Americana. You can't beat the look of a 57 Chevy bumper, man. 57 was the last of the series, what they call the Tri-5.
This thing got a gold grill in it.
Factory, Mike. Tri-5 was a 55, 6, and 7, so that's kind of the hot rodders jargon is the Tri-5.
One more bumper, Joe, then we're going to...
Hell yes, sir, strippy doing. And of course, 57 being the last. 57 had tail fins, 55 and 6 didn't. We don't want to hit any of this. We got to be really careful. So when we put this car back together, we'll actually tape all this stuff up. That's the key thing. We cannot scratch it. Rob did not want to touch paint, and I'm glad. I don't want to touch paint either. So, you know, visually looking at it, you're not going to see big changes,
Come on, man.
but there's going to be big changes underneath. Updates the interior a little bit. The car's just going to have this really updated style. The stance will be corrected. So we're going to put some big wheels in it. 2212 in the back. So it's still going to have a lot of meat in there. The car will sound a little different. We'll put stainless exhaust all the way out. It's still going to have the same motor. The real change in this car is going to be when you get in it, just that confidence in the trick new frame, the way it brakes, the way it accelerates. I mean, just the way it steers. It's going to be like a modern car.
Man, this thing almost Looks like it almost caught on fire. Hey, Joe, this thing is toasted in there.
Wow, man, that got hot, dude.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? You can see they found this big burn spot. It's actually bubbling up the paint and the tar that's on the floor and everything. I've never seen exhaust get that hot. So I don't know if the header is super close down under there or what's going on, but it almost looks like it caught on fire or something. Obviously, exhaust gets hot, but damn, the floor is not coming out of this car whatsoever. Definitely need to figure out what the hell that is, man. That's not good. All the stock floor is staying in the car. Let's check the car and look at that. Oh, I see exactly what happened, Kato. I'm not an arson investigator, Mike, but I'm going to tell you what happened. You ready, Kato?
I'm ready.
Here's my hypothesis.
Your hypothesis means you're...
What?
Your hypothesis means you're scientific. Go on with your speech, Joe.
Okay. Look what's going on here, man. So we had a transmission line come loose, sprayed all over the header.
Oh, so it did catch on
Caught
fire.
on fire.
That stuff did catch on fire.
Fire. Looks like the transmission line actually leaked, and that's what started this fire. We'll fix the transmission cooler line and recoat the headers and undercoat it, touch it up, call it a day.
We'll talk about that hypothesis later.
Yeah, hell yeah, Mike. We've been working on this hot rod for almost a year now. And LCO's done a great job on this thing. We built a new frame and changed up the suspension, so it's going to handle much better. We built everything for this thing. Built new firewall, hood sides, exhaust, everything. So we pinched the rails on the front of this frame because we wanted to put kind of a trick narrow hood on there, a narrow grill to go with the style of this thing. So everything was built around narrowing everything so that hood comes to a cool point. It's got a big block in it. That was kind of a struggle fitting it between those little thin rails, but they sound cool. They look cool. Big old giant valve covers. You know, they're going to run a little hot, but with this big block, not only is it going to be loud with the zoomy headers and everything, but Cameron wanted a loud stereo, so it's going to be wired for sound. You can hear this thing coming from miles away. Oh, hell, DJ. Put the distributor in.
Yep, gotta set the timing. Make sure that we're good to go on this thing.
So you're close, huh?
Yeah. Had to pull the intake, top the intake out to get this thing in, so after this is in...
Another hour, another day, another minute?
Hopefully by the end of the week.
End of the week?
I gotta finish wiring this thing too.
Damn, DJ. DJ has to do all the plumbing and wiring in this rat rod. When he finishes, we can fire this thing up.
It's gonna sound good, that's for sure.
It'll sound good.
Let's go down the other side of the same, but in reverse order. All right, let's go to this front corner right here, K-Dub.
K-Dub's got this 57 Chevy ready to get the body off the frame.
Yeah,
K-Dub.
I'm gonna have to have a nap. Oh,
Been working all day, getting all the bolts off, getting all the plumbing taken apart.
I didn't have time. My woman didn't have time to make my lunch station. We ordered lunch. I need to order something to eat. I don't go to bed at 9 o'clock. She gets
twice this season already.
Just want to make sure we're working with a good car. I think we are, but once we get it up in here, we'll know for sure.
You ready or what?
I'm gonna bump it.
Bump it, K-Dub.
K-Dub's not even playing right now. Looks good. Come on, K-Dub.
Key thing with this thing, it's a perfect car for a frame swap. You know, paint's in really decent shape.
I think you got it, man.
Think we're good? Come on.
Here we go.
You know, get it off the frame carefully, put it on the other frame.
The frame ain't moving, K-Dub. We're clear, brother. All right.
And we just want to take care to preserve it. So that's the key here. We do not want to paint this car.
It already looks better.
It's got a gravel pit back there.
Damn. Well, we're hoping to see an ugly old frame roll out away from our lives. It's a pretty nice car. I was going to say.
Chad, he's already wanted to put it in the
Chad, get
archives.
this thing out. Watch out for the steel belts, Chad.
Man,
We were driving
it's
it like
not
this.
good.
Man. Look at that.
You guys are lucky to be alive.
Look at that.
Hey, that's asphalt. We heard you were close, DJ.
Yeah, I just gotta do a couple little more parameters set on this thing and it should be good to go.
For the rat rod, this big block's fitting. I mean, literally. But, you know, it goes with the old theme of the rat rod, which is, you know, it's turned into a hot rod. So the big block works good. It's a cool old motor. It's a vintage motor. They're loud. loud, noisy, obnoxious, uses a lot of gas, a lot of torque. I thought we put baffles in there, Mike.
No kidding. Man, that's gonna be a singer.
We did put baffles in there. It's kind of a retro thing, and it's kind of a period correct thing.
They got motor sounds.
It's gonna wake up the neighbors.
You hardly see these motors anymore.
Man, it doesn't sound too bad, does it? How about that? You just don't see big blocks anymore.
I know, it's a cool looking thing. I mean, honestly. There's other options today that make more horsepower, that run better, and is a lot more dependable.
It'll run good from gas station to gas station.
You know, it's hard to keep them cool to start with, but they probably sound the best of all motors. They're cool looking. You know, they make a lot of torque and stuff.
I hope it's not too loud for Cameron. You know, he wants to set it up too where Casey can drive it too. So.
Cameron wanted this hot ride for him and his wife, something they could get away in. Well, maybe something she could even drive. Damn, I like it. But maybe drive to the ear doctor if they drive it for a while. Because after driving this thing for about 15, 20 minutes, you know it's loud and mean. You're going to need some earmuffs or an ear doctor, one of the two. I guarantee this one could do a burnout. Yeah. Those tires just going to roast them off of there. Damn.
Yeah.
How's it look, Chad? Somebody's been in here before.
We got the body off the frame on this 57 Chevy, and there's good points and bad points.
I just like doing this.
You go to your mechanic, you're like, I got this noise. It sounds like.
AC's falling out of my attic, right?
Mainly, we just want, underneath the car, we like to inspect it, make sure there's no rot.
I don't know what happened here, Joe. They kind of like
Oh, yeah, look, man.
stuck it in there, but it's not really attached.
Oh. Well, so the fabrication work on this car was, probably done 25 years ago, and it's just a backyard job.
I don't know if they were planning on welding it and forgot to come back later.
Chopped everything out with some tin snips, maybe, or a jigsaw, possibly.
From here that way, we're good.
From here
This way, not so much.
Yeah, when we got to look at this frame after we rolled it out from underneath this 57, looking at this thing, we're like, Bama Brown.
Oh my lord.
Oh man, look at
Where's
here.
kicking, Bama?
Just like old home week. Seeing boys get out of prison. Well, Shag and Amanda called me, and they said they got something that they knew I would love.
What are you doing, Bama?
The kids called me and said they had something for me to buy down here. I really don't know what it is. They just called and said, I thought you'd want this.
The 57 frame.
57 frame? Well, the frame out of that one, so it was wrecked, and then you got a little jump frame you want me to haul off. That's what we're doing.
No, Bama.
So you went with the aftermarket and you got one left over.
And we thought of you.
Oh, you almost could say that without a smile. Look at
Vouch for us.
you.
This is not your normal Bama quality. This is up there.
And this is who's vouching for you.
It's ready to roll. Hey, I guarantee you, Bama, see this pile of poo and think, man, this is a deal.
So you're just trying to get rid of it? I hope it's get rid of price, or is it,
It's the Bama Brown price.
Oh, God, that's going to hurt.
You never know with Bama Brown. I mean, he's always good for a laugh, and he might be able to make a little bit of money on it. You never can tell.
Man, we're going to let them do the dirty work.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks,
and the guilt setting in already. Look at this now. This isn't bad.
Oh,
So the guys were tearing down the 57 Bel Air. They got to the frame, and it's looking rough. It actually reminded me of Bama Brown.
I mean, literally, this is the way we used to want to build them.
So hopefully we're going to sell it to them, make a little extra cash, put some money back in the build.
It's got the big axles. I like that. This 57 is done exactly old school the way I would love to have one.
Easy
You're
to sell
the right
it.
guy. Now let's discuss price. What?
No, that again.
I brought a little cash, not much. All right, give me a number.
It's been a while since we've done some dealing, so I'm going to start at 55.
55.
100.
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure. When I said 55, I thought he was going to knock the 50 off.
Yeah.
I literally thought we were going to go to $500. That's honestly what I thought he was going to come back with.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you $2,500.
maybe he overheated out there. I'm not real sure what happened.
Does he know where he's at? Did anybody let him know he's here?
$2,500. I'm going to haul it out of here. $2,500. Because I know your rental spot here probably $2,500.
Oh, wow, that's
so
so nice.
I didn't want to be too cheap and have them negotiate because this thing will sell this afternoon.
Honestly, 2,500?
$2,500 cash, and I'll take that.
Dude.
I got them at $2,500. They thought they were getting a steal.
And honestly, he may have paid us a little bit more than I was willing to accept. I was taking 2.
Cool. Oh my God, that was easy.
Yeah. I mean, you feel all right?
He sold this frame to himself. Let's
100%. He played every role. We didn't even need to be there.
Shagging a man that don't know anything about this old stuff.
He's gonna part it up.
Well, either way, we got more than what we wanted.
I got at least about $8,000 worth of parts sitting there that I can get $8,000 for that chassis sitting as it is right now. And it's the easiest money I'll make today, I promise you.
So we got this 41 rat rod about ready to go. We got pretty much everything done. All the mechanicals are done. DJ fired this thing up. Sounds kick-ass. The last thing I got to do is paint the doors. Cameron just said, have at it. Gave me the lettering for his logo, which I'm pretty much going to kind of do my own thing. He's actually got like a brass knuckle image into the lettering and the font. So it ought to be pretty cool. I definitely like it when the customers, let me do my own thing with it. I work better that way when there's no guidelines. I'll kind of scale out, draw out what I want to do, and it's kind of like a stencil. So really, I'll just experiment a little bit with the lettering and the style and the centering where I want it. With the look of this truck, it's going flat. We're gonna put the old school lettering on it, make it look kind of weathered and old. Basically, once I'm comfortable with it, I'll start laying some color on it. We're gonna use the brass knuckle logo. That's pretty much all he said. This is kind of what I'm looking for, and make it work. Basically freehand it, and with this style of lettering, which is supposed to look kind of old, like it's been on there a long time, instead of reducing it and making it thin where it flows really nice, I'll kind of dry brush it somewhat, and it gives it kind of an old look. It's old school brushwork, really.
So what we have here is Cameron's rat rod door panel. This truck, when it came in, it was pretty rough. I came up with this interior theme. It's kind of a bomber style theme. We got a bunch of brushed aluminum showing, a bunch of rivets, but we're still making it look super awesome. So definitely stepping out of the box from what I'm used to doing every day, but I really enjoy it a lot, actually.
Just looking great. All right, we got a big day today. We got a 57 Chevy frame coming in. Oh, man. Look at this. It's a good day when one of these comes in. These are your homies from Illinois right here, man.
Yeah, that's a shot.
What do we got here, Chad?
Fair brakes.
What kind of shocks we got, man?
They're Fox.
Oh, man, look at this.
Single adjustable.
Let's unbox this thing, man. And I can't wait to get our motor in, get it kind of rolling, see how the fitment's going to be on this thing.
All right, that's probably pretty close. Man, I'm kind of off center. Okay, then hold on. Are you? Yeah, a little bit. They're trying to put this motor in. It's not, the brackets aren't wide enough. A hard mount on one side and a rubber mount on the other side. Well, something so simple just turned into something. Yes. I'm not real sure what's going on here. I think the way we had the motor strapped up or something, but it's just holding it cockeyed. And something's goofy. It's just let down on it just a little bit. Look. We're gonna have to get the pressure off of it somehow. It will not allow. Put like a 1/4 inch or maybe 1/8 of an inch for this to line up, and it's just not letting us. How far off is that? It needs to come up on this side. Huh? I think. Oh yeah, maybe if you don't try to pull it sideways. Oh, too far. Man, something ain't cool. Something ain't cool, brother. Raise it up again. Something's off. Let it down now. I don't know if it's the way we got it strapped up or something. Man, it's close, but it's about 1/4 of a hole off. It ain't close, guys. Hey, Kaden. Something's wrong, man. Yeah. mounts off or something. You know, K-Dub and I were trying to get this motor fit into the new frame here on the Bel Air. You think it'd go together like peas and carrots since everything's designed for this one particular item, but it's just not going. Probably gonna lose a finger here in a minute. Normally they just kind of plug right in, and since this one didn't, it kind of throws you off. And something's funky, man. Welcome to a normal day here at Martin Brothers Customs. Right? The emphasis on customers. It's just about half a whole. Yeah, something ain't right. Man, I'm pissed off now. Live down, Kato. Head all the way down to that trans mount heads. Everything lines up. It's just a real tight tolerance on it. So. More? Yeah, a little bit. Whoa. A little adjustment, tweak here, tweak there, and everybody's happy. Yeah, raise it up. All right. Get a hammer and tap that in. All right, let's tighten it. The struggle was real. That's life. You know what it is, Kato? Me and you don't need to be putting motors in together. Because there's always propagantos when we work together like that. For some reason. It's bolted in now. Everything's good. We'll make a little adjustment right here in the transmission mount area. And then we'll be ready to set the body on it. Look at it. It's going to roll now. Whew. Game over.
So I got my letter and laid down these doors, and got the brush work done, got the striping work. So now what I'm gonna do is do a little airbrush highlight on there. Just kind of give it a little bit of shine, give it a little bit of depth. I'll do a little bit of white. A little bit of white highlights gives it kind of a three-dimensional look. Being that it's black, we'll just do a little bit of shadow work on the lettering itself. And then should be ready to pull back on.
So I got the chassis ready to kind of test fit, look, and dry fit it kind of.
You want to put the power slide on it, Mike?
This is where the back goes.
I have an idea where I need to cut it, so that's a double check.
That's what my putters are sounding like now. They're like clicking and clicking. I got some new noises, man.
TV joints, Mike.
That's what my knees sound like.
Oh, man. Damn, Chad, you're too young, man.
Oh, man.
You get in trouble, dog.
We're just going to do an initial fit. Because when we put this on permanently, we'll actually use the body bushings, and we'll probably do some plumb bobs, get everything figured out. But we just want to make sure everything's close. Determine if we need to trim fender wells. Oh, man. Obviously, we don't want anything to hit. These frames are pretty spot on, so. Looks like the body needs to. Just a tad, man. Yeah, right here we had clearance issue. So either body needs to go that way or the frame needs to. Chassis needs to go that way. On that one. Can the body move around on this lift? I hate to do this. Yeah, so we got to be careful of our clearance of the fender wells. We're not changing any of this, so we got our alternator hanging out here. We want to make sure we don't hit. So it looks like we need to scoot it that way just a tad bit. How's it looking, boys? Come on, Kato.
Good?
Right there, maybe?
I think it's gonna stay there.
Yeah, it's going to lay on down here.
Hold on. Are we hitting something?
Is everything clear?
I gotta go forward more.
Okay, go ahead, Chad, because I think I do too.
Oh, yeah, I need to run an inch in the corner, man. Right there.
Right, come on down, Kato.
Might have to let it go down and slide it forward a little bit.
Oh, there we go, man. That's it right there.
That's pretty close.
Let me look up here. These are going to line up back here. That's it. Whoa. Is that it? Well, you got to cut this inner tub out right here. For what it's worth.
That looks good right there.
Yeah.
So we kind of just test fitted this frame on this 57.
But if you cut that off real quick, it may. Oh, yeah. I think it'll set down, Joe.
Hell yeah, we'll
Just cut the whole damn thing out.
might as well start chopping.
My next move is I'll brace the trunk up, mark where I want to cut, and start chopping.
Kato, did I mention that we're not painting this car?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
I lost count how many times Joe's reminded me that we're not painting this car.
Leave this board in here, so every time you talk about how you haven't scratched it, you can just be like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, Kato, by the way, we're not painting this car, brother. Take it easy, man. Yeah, so you get your hardware? Oops. So we're really close to getting this rat rod delivered to Cameron, and Elsie and I need to get the doors hung on there, make sure everything's gas right. I'll want to line them a little bit. I'll hold them up while Elsie tightens them up because they got a little bit of weight. Right there, Elsie. You got power windows in here now, you got Dynamat, you got a lot of stuff going on in here, so they're not lightweight like they used to be. Yeah, not bad, Elsie. Right there, Elsie. Yeah. Nice, Elsie, nice. Good, man. It's always a trip when you see the car coming together, especially with the graphics and everything. What do you guys Okay, Dub's all yours, brother.
Right now I'm working on the 57 Bel Air and I'm getting ready to make some new floors.
Did I mention? We're not painting this car.
We're not painting, yeah, you did mention that. First, once I get everything cut out, I'll set it back onto the chassis.
That's great. That's it, yeah.
Yeah. It's good to take my time and make sure my cuts are nice and straight. It's just going to make everything fit that much easier.
We want it to look kind of factory, so we want to actually take those tubs out, correct all the floor, make it look presentable, and just get all this funky old styling out of the car.
This isn't getting any paint, so I just have to be careful not to mess anything up that's painted. Joe probably won't be happy. He's told me quite a few times, so I'm being very careful.
So, Christy, I'll phone for you, kiddo. Want some?
I'm not the pass. I'll let you have it.
All right, cool.
Part of the fun of tearing down old cars is kind of seeing how they were engineered. We're seeing what the last group did to them, and this car is full of surprises. Are y'all going out with that? Doing that, right?
Hey, here you go. Happy birthday, Mike.
Dude, I'm good to go. He likes wooden consoles.
Hey, I got you something.
Easy, we might have to use it again, Mike. We ain't putting that back in that car, Joe Martin.
Here's the thing, wood's good for cabinets and beds on a pickup. This car calls for neither one of them.
Right now, today, that costs about $800. Look at all the wood in it. Look at all the wood in it. I don't like wood consoles, Mike.
There's no way we're gonna put any wood in one of Joe Martin's customs.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and throw that in the trash.
We're gonna put that in the burn pile.
Oh, yeah. Bonfire.
K-Dub's got all the floor cut out of this 57 Chevy, so now the fun part begins. You gotta put all the wheel tubs in, fabricate all the new components for the floor, and it'll start looking like something.
I got some pieces cut out for my wheel tubs on this 57 Bel Air. And then I'll have to lay out my bead design on here, because the beads will have to go on before they get welded together. With the beads, it's visual and structural. Puts a little strength in it, and it just makes it look cooler than just a flat piece of metal.
What you got, K-Dub?
I'm gonna hold this up kind of where I want it. We clamp it. I'll put this piece in, and then I'll clamp this piece up to the frame.
I don't know why you call me over every time I come over to K-Dub, something goes wrong with this car. Is that what you want it?
Yeah, for now.
There you go.
The fun process on this is just making everything from scratch.
Every time I see you work, K-Dub, I feel like I need to go back to school.
I don't know about all that. Just start with the flat piece of metal and make it look like something.
Man, you got this thing close.
Yeah, that's close.
I think I'm gonna walk away from this car before something happens.
Before something happens,
Yeah.
that sounds good. I don't want nothing else to happen.
I can sew my cover for my handle. This is where the handle goes in, and it's going to be covered in leather. So what I'm doing is I'm stretching this metal out. I'm just going to hammer this and press it out and stretch it to give it a little bit of a cool conformed look to fit around the handle. The only thing I had to sew on the whole door panel was grab handle. That's where we're at now, so we'll cover it. That's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna smash down the leather a little bit on the ends, get that a little thinner. And then I'm gonna set this in place and start riveting this to the panel. The rivets I'm putting in are super shiny aluminum rivets. And so the idea behind all this is to not make these panels like the absolute prettiest, flawless pieces, so, but give it a lot of character, you know, and it can look like it's been, you know, around for a while. So there's a cool look at it. Ready to be put on the truck, dude. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm digging it. I love how it's turned out.
Yeah, here on this 57, I finally got my wheel tubs buttoned up. They're all welded in. Now I'm ready to start my floors.
It's looking good, Kato.
It's getting there. Little by little, progress.
Little by little.
Yeah.
Hell, before too hard, it's gonna be a roller.
Yeah, ready to drive.
Ready to drive it, man.
I'll make me a template of my piece, and then I'll go trace it, put it on the metal. Gonna get it fitting real nice, and then I need to figure out exactly how I'm gonna do my beams. I'll have to put some kind of bead design in it just to kind of give it a little more strength, but nothing too crazy. So I was thinking of like, this one will go this way, and then these will be wide and skinny here.
Why don't you just put a bunch of straight lines in it?
Just put a bunch of squares in it.
I want them like this. Boom, done. Hey, how's he picture framing?
I don't want to make it just a straight corner on my beads.
You don't want no straight lines.
Curves look nicer to the eye, so try to keep everything, all the corners round on everything.
I can see Kato struggling just a little bit. You know, so I reminded him, you know, simplicity is usually the best way. Matter of fact, simplicity is always the best way. Straight lines are simple. What's kicking this morning, Kato?
I'm getting ready to weld this floor in.
Get your piece done?
Yeah. Yeah, I got it finished up.
Nice, brother. See with a straight line.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Huh?
I don't want to talk about it.
Strong, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's yours, though.
Yeah. I had to switch up my little bead design a little bit. Just went with straight lines like somebody suggested.
Finally, on the final touch of this door panel for the rat rod. We had a few hiccups here and there, just getting everything like it's supposed to be, but other than that, I'm loving it. And we are going to be revealing this soon to the customers, so I'm pretty excited. We're getting to those final stages. Door panels will be all wrapped up today. Seats are done. We got a lot of cool stuff that we've already finished. She is all done. Looks awesome.
Today we're taking Cameron's 41 hot rod out for a test drive. The big block in this 41 hot rod is very obnoxious. It's loud. But I mean, it's fitting for this thing. Dries great. It's loaded down. It's got a chopped top, but you can still visually see pretty good. It shifts well, it brakes well, it steers good. For this type of a car, it's supposed to be hardcore and primitive. It actually rides really nice. Hi. It's going to be a handful. It's a lot of power for just a little vehicle. but it's loud and it shakes. Did I mention loud?
I think Cameron's gonna love it. I think Casey's gonna love it.
This is what Cameron wanted in this thing, and so I can't wait to show it to him. I think he's gonna dig it. Here we go. Pretty excited. We got Cameron and Casey coming to check out this 41 rat rod. Cameron hadn't even seen this thing since he dropped it off.
Today's the day, huh?
It's the day, man.
We're here at Martin Brothers Customs. This is our 1940 International.
This is the nerve-wracking
I'm ready for you.
No, I got butterfly. I never get nervous.
It's been a big project for you, and I cannot believe the day is actually here.
Get out of here! It is badass. I mean, I couldn't have dreamt a better car. Oh my god, dude.
I think when Cameron saw this thing, his reaction was probably the best I've seen.
Oh my god, y'all, what?
It's not a junker.
Because, I mean, he's had this thing in 4 or 5 different shops, he said, and it was like 9 or 10 year ordeal.
Remember I sent you out
I love the brass knuckles.
Well, you know, it's funny because you sent me a picture and you just drew it, and over that photo,
I know.
I wanted to do, you know, just some kind of old school looking.
I mean, it is the best thing that I've ever seen.
Wow.
Unbelievable. It's like jewelry. But for
It costs more than jewelry, I think.
When Cameron brought it, it had this big block. That was kind of a struggle fitting it between those little thin rails.
I mean, it's pretty kick-ass.
It's really kick-ass, but you know, the big block's just kind of a retro thing, and it's kind of a period corrected. But man, you guys need to check out the inside.
Go ahead, baby, you're first.
It turned out awesome.
This is so great.
Unreal. Everything's custom. It's perfect. The doors line up. Their upholstery's badass. I love the blend of materials. How you use the leathers, you have the aluminum, you have the rivets, the mesh. I feel like I'm in a Maserati.
I love the two-tone. I love all
This
the...
is beautiful.
You guys want to hear it?
Sure do.
Fire it up, man.
I got big ears. It's loud. It shakes. The bass shakes my ears. But hey, everything that Joe and Mandy promised us, it came true. Yeah.
Just to see his smile on his face, that makes me happy.
It's got a nice refined touch, but it's still hardcore.
Yeah.
I mean, he was genuinely excited, which is exciting for us.
I swear to God in my life, I wouldn't change a thing.
It's been a long, hard road with this thing, and it's over. And he's ready to get in and do it. Look at that move, man.
Look at that.
Damn,
See?
Mama.
I can train anybody how to dance. And you too can dance like in 10 minutes. You can't be fair to your family.
You have a hard time saying that word.
Remember candy corn?
Hey, Joe, what was in candy corn?
Pure grade A sugar.
Oh, Lord. Give me some church socks and wear them around my thighs to be my mic costume. That's going to make an after credits you watch. Mike's going to punch me in the face.
बोलिए नाथों की नाथ की
dropped off his 57 Chevy.
It is, man.
It's a perfect car for a frame swap. Looks good. Paint's in really decent shape. Kato, did I mention that we're not painting this car?
Yeah, you did.
By the way, we're not painting this car, but here we go. You do not want to scratch it. We are not painting this car.
Whoa. Hold on. Are we hitting something?
What the hell, man? So we got this 41 International truck in. So it's been 9 years.
9 years. 5 shops.
It needs a lot of attention.
This is gonna wake up the neighbors.
It's always a trip when you see the car coming together, especially with the graphics and everything.
Get out of here!
I'm Joe Martin. I've been building cars and bikes since I was just a little kid. My team hunts down rusted wrecks.
Are we gonna work today, Joe? Or what?
Knock out the ugly and put in the cool. And turn these buckets of rust into street art. This is Iron Resurrection.
Kato, look at this, man. 57 Chevy. So we got a new customer, Rob Learn, came by today, dropped off his 57 Chevy.
Rob's quite a car guy. He's got several in his collection, but this 57 is one of his favorites.
I love the way it looks. It's this beautiful red with those silver, kind of chromy accents, but it was almost undrivable because the frame was almost like that of a go-kart. The front end will literally bounce from left to right like a typewriter. So I would like the car to be as good underneath as it looks on its exterior.
All right, Kato, let's take a ride, man. All right. Kato and I are going to take a ride and see how this thing handles. Hopefully we make it back, Kato. Damn.
A little wobbly. It is, man.
Yeah, Rob had a list of things he wanted to do with the car. Mainly, he just wanted to get it running, driving really well.
The big block seems solid.
That's it. Sounds pretty good.
He wants to keep the same motor.
Motor seems to run good, and the transmission works good.
But we ain't got no brakes. Look, brake
Yeah, don't go too fast.
The car doesn't brake very well. The car doesn't steer very good.
There's a lot of weird things going on there.
Yeah.
Wants to get all these things addressed.
Yeah, the alignment's bad. You can feel it swimming around.
More likely, it's probably going to be a deal where we can just do a package frame deal.
It'll be more than kind of an update, Kato. The interior's got some funky stuff going on.
Are we changing any of this?
We're going to get rid of that, Kato. Yeah.
We'll get Justin to do some interior work.
And since the 57 is so iconic, so popular, there's a lot of frame companies that make something to accommodate this car.
It's going to get the K-Dub throwdown.